Spade Cooley was once the undisputed king of Western swing, a beloved musician and television personality who charmed audiences throughout the 1940s and 50s. His smooth fiddle-playing and cowboy persona made him a household name, but behind the scenes, his life was unraveling. Beneath his charismatic exterior lurked a violent temper and a jealous paranoia that would ultimately destroy everything he had built. In 1961, Cooley committed one of Hollywood's most horrifying crimes when he brutally murdered his wife, Ella May. Convinced that she had been unfaithful, he flew into a rage, beating her savagely inside their home. What made the crime even more disturbing was that he forced their 14-year-old daughter to witness the gruesome attack. When the police arrived, Cooley claimed it was an accident, but the evidence painted a far darker picture. The trial was swift, and he was convicted of first-degree murder, receiving a life sentence. Despite his fall from grace, Cooley almost tasted freedom when he was granted parole in 1969. However, fate had other plans. Just minutes after performing at a benefit concert for law enforcement officers, he collapsed from a fatal heart attack. His story serves as a chilling reminder of how even the most glamorous stars can hide the darkest secrets. Paul Kelly was a rising star in Hollywood, known for his tough guy roles and rugged charm. With a career that spanned silent films to talkies, he built a reputation as a reliable and talented actor. But in 1927, his real-life drama overshadowed anything he ever performed on screen. Kelly became entangled in a love triangle that led to a shocking act of violence, one that would land him behind bars. The trouble began when Kelly had an affair with Dorothy Mackay, a popular stage actress who was married to vaudeville performer Ray Raymond. When Raymond discovered the affair, tensions escalated, leading to a deadly confrontation. One evening, Kelly brutally beat Raymond in a fit of rage, leaving him with severe injuries. The next day, Raymond died from a brain hemorrhage. Authorities wasted no time in arresting Kelly, charging him with manslaughter. Mackay, accused of covering up the crime, was also convicted. Kelly served only 2 years in San Quentin before returning to Hollywood, where he astonishingly managed to rebuild his career. He went on to star in major films, and even married Dorothy Mackay after their prison sentences. Though he regained his fame, the shadow of his violent past never fully faded, cementing his place in Hollywood's dark history. Barbara Payton was once one of Hollywood's most promising young actresses, a blonde bombshell who captivated audiences with her beauty and charisma. She starred alongside leading men like James Cagney and Gregory Peck, earning a reputation as a rising star. But behind the glamorous facade, Payton's personal life was spiraling into chaos, fueled by reckless relationships, scandal, and crime. Her downfall began with a highly publicized love triangle between actor Franket Tone and B-movie star Tom Neal. In 1951, the rivalry turned violent when Neal brutally beat Tone, leaving him in a coma with a shattered cheekbone and a broken nose. The scandal destroyed her career, but Payton's troubles didn't end there. As she drifted away from Hollywood, she descended into alcoholism, drug abuse, and eventually a life of crime. By the 1960s, Payton was arrested multiple times for prostitution, public intoxication, and check fraud. Once a glamorous actress, she was now living in cheap motels, struggling to survive. In 1967, at just 39 years old, she died from liver and heart failure, a tragic end to what could have been a legendary career. Payton's story remains one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking cautionary tales. John Drew Barrymore was born into Hollywood royalty, the son of legendary actor John Barrymore and a member of the famous Barrymore acting dynasty. With striking looks and undeniable talent, he seemed destined for stardom. However, instead of following in his father's footsteps, Barrymore became known for his reckless behavior, frequent arrests, and a life of crime that overshadowed his career. Unlike his famous relatives, Barrymore struggled to maintain a steady acting career, often missing film shoots and violating contracts due to his alcohol and drug addiction. His erratic behavior led to multiple arrests for public intoxication, drug possession, and assault. One of his most notorious incidents came in the 1960s when he was arrested for attempted burglary. He was also known for his violent temper, leading to numerous altercations and legal troubles. As his career crumbled, Barrymore disappeared from Hollywood, living as a drifter and often clashing with the law. His self-destructive path alienated him from his family, including his daughter, actress Drew Barrymore, who later spoke about his troubled legacy. In 2004, he passed away after years of declining health, a tragic figure who wasted the immense talent he had inherited. His life remains a cautionary tale of how fame and privilege don't always guarantee success. Errol Flynn was the ultimate Hollywood heartthrob of the 1930s and 40s, known for his dashing roles in films like The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood. With his charming smile and devil-may-care attitude, he became a symbol of adventure and romance. But behind the scenes, Flynn was plagued by scandal, crime, and accusations that nearly destroyed his career. In 1942, Flynn faced the biggest scandal of his life when he was accused of statutory rape by two underage girls. The trial became a media circus, with shocking testimonies that painted a picture of Flynn's wild private life filled with drinking, drugs, and questionable relationships. However, with top-tier lawyers and his undeniable charisma, Flynn was acquitted. Still, the allegations tarnished his reputation, and Hollywood insiders whispered about his dangerous lifestyle. Despite the controversy, Flynn continued to act, but his career slowly declined due to his alcoholism and reckless behavior. By the 1950s, his once golden star had faded, and he struggled to find meaningful roles. In 1959, at just 50 years old, he died from a heart attack, a victim of his own excesses. Errol Flynn remains a Hollywood legend, but his life off-screen was as scandalous as any film he ever starred in. Robert Mitchum was the embodiment of effortless cool. His sleepy-eyed charm and rugged persona made him one of Hollywood's most sought-after leading men. He starred in classics like Out of the Past and Night of the Hunter, defining the noir antihero. But Mitchum wasn't just playing the bad boy on screen. He lived the role off-screen, too, and it nearly cost him his career. In 1948, Mitchum was arrested in a high-profile drug bust when police raided a Hollywood house and found him smoking marijuana. At the time, drug use was a career-ending scandal, and Mitchum was sentenced to 60 days in jail. Mugshots of the actor, looking defiant yet amused, were plastered across newspapers, creating one of Hollywood's most infamous celebrity arrests. Many thought his career was over, but Mitchum had an uncanny ability to turn scandal into mystique. Instead of fading into obscurity, Mitchum bounced back stronger than ever. His rebellious image only added to his allure, and he continued to dominate the big screen for decades. He went on to star in some of the most iconic films of the 20th century, proving that sometimes, even a scandal can make a legend even more unforgettable. Walter Wanger was one of Hollywood's most respected producers, known for classics like Stagecoach and Cleopatra. He had a reputation for being a visionary filmmaker, but in 1951, his name made headlines for a far more shocking reason: attempted murder. In a crime straight out of a noir film, Wanger took justice into his own hands and nearly lost everything. Wanger was married to actress Joan Bennett, but their marriage was in trouble. He suspected she was having an affair with her agent, Jennings Lang, and his suspicions were soon confirmed. One day, outside of Bennett's office, Wanger confronted Lang in a jealous rage. Without warning, he pulled out a pistol and shot Lang twice, once in the thigh and once in the groin. Lang survived, and Wanger was quickly arrested for attempted murder. In court, Wanger claimed he had acted in a moment of passion. Hollywood rallied around him, and instead of serving serious prison time, he was sentenced to just 4 months in jail. Astonishingly, after his release, he managed to rebuild his career and produced even more films. His crime may have been scandalous, but in classic Hollywood fashion, he still got his second act. Mabel Normand was one of the biggest stars of the silent film era, known for her comedic brilliance and collaborations with legends like Charlie Chaplin and Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle. She was Hollywood's original funny girl, beloved for her charm and wit. But behind the scenes, Normand's life was filled with controversy, crime, and scandal, ones that ultimately overshadowed her career. Her most infamous connection to crime came in 1922 when her close friend, director William Desmond Taylor, was mysteriously murdered. Normand was the last known person to see him alive, having visited his home just hours before he was shot. When police investigated, they found love letters from Normand among Taylor's belongings, fueling rumors of a secret romance. Though she was never officially accused, the scandal haunted her for the rest of her life. Adding to her troubles, Normand was later caught up in another crime when her chauffeur was arrested for attempting to murder millionaire Cortland Dines with her own gun. While she wasn't directly involved, the incident further damaged her reputation. As Hollywood evolved, Normand struggled to find work, and her declining health due to tuberculosis led to her early death in 1930 at just 37 years old. Though a comedic trailblazer, her legacy remains clouded by the dark mysteries of old Hollywood. Robert Blake was a child actor who grew up to become a Hollywood icon, best known for his gritty performances in Cold Blood and the hit TV series Beretta. With his tough guy persona and piercing stare, he built a career playing outlaws and antiheroes. But in 2001, his real-life story took a shocking turn when he was accused of murdering his wife in one of Hollywood's most sensational crime cases. Blake's wife, Bonnie Lee Backley, was found shot to death in his car outside a Los Angeles restaurant. Blake claimed he had left her alone to retrieve a gun from inside the restaurant, only to return and find her murdered. However, police didn't buy his story. Investigators discovered that Backley had a history of conning wealthy men, and her marriage to Blake was tumultuous. Soon, Blake was arrested and charged with her murder. The trial was a media spectacle, with the prosecution painting Blake as a jealous husband who wanted his wife dead. However, due to a lack of physical evidence, he was acquitted in 2005. Despite escaping prison, his legal troubles weren't over. He was later found liable in a civil case and ordered to pay $30 million in damages. Once a celebrated actor, Blake's name became forever tied to one of Hollywood's most notorious murder trials. Ted Healy was a vaudeville comedian and the mastermind behind The Three Stooges, a comedy act that became legendary. Known for his quick wit and slapstick humor, Healy was a major force in early Hollywood. However, his off-screen life was far from funny. He had a reputation for heavy drinking, violent outbursts, and a temper that often got him into trouble. His death in 1937 remains one of Hollywood's great unsolved mysteries. On the night of his death, Healy had been out celebrating the birth of his son. Witnesses reported that he got into a heated argument at the Trocadero nightclub, allegedly with a group of men, including actor Wallace Beery and mob-connected producer Albert Broccoli. The details are murky, but it's believed Healy was beaten severely. Hours later, he collapsed and died. Officially, his cause of death was ruled as nephritis, kidney inflammation, supposedly brought on by alcoholism. But many believe he died from the injuries sustained in the nightclub brawl. Despite his tragic and suspicious end, Healy's influence on comedy is undeniable. Though the Three Stooges went on to fame without him, his legacy remains tied to their origins and to one of Hollywood's most debated deaths. Wallace Beery was one of Hollywood's most celebrated actors, known for his tough, gruff persona in films like The Champ and Treasure Island. He won an Academy Award and was a box office giant throughout the 1930s and 40s. But beneath his lovable screen presence, Beery was rumored to have a violent temper and may have even been involved in one of Hollywood's most mysterious deaths. In 1937, comedian Ted Healy, the creator of The Three Stooges, died under suspicious circumstances after a brawl at the Trocadero nightclub. Some reports suggested that Beery, along with producer Albert Broccoli and others, was involved in the beating that led to Healy's death. Though the official cause of death was ruled as nephritis, many believed it was a cover-up orchestrated by MGM studio head Louis B. Mayer. Shortly after the incident, Beery was conveniently sent on an extended trip to Europe, fueling speculation that he was being protected from legal trouble. Beyond the Healy case, Beery had a reputation for being abusive, both personally and professionally. Fellow actors, including child star Jackie Cooper, later recounted stories of Beery's cruel and bullying behavior on set. Though he remained a Hollywood icon until his death in 1949, his legacy is tainted by whispers of violence and scandal that still linger in Hollywood's dark history. Marie McDonald, known as the Body for her stunning looks, was a 1940s and 50s Hollywood starlet who appeared in films like Pardon My Sarong and The Geisha Boy. While she never reached A-list stardom, her beauty made her a tabloid favorite. However, her personal life was far more dramatic than any movie script, filled with crime, scandal, and a bizarre kidnapping that shocked Hollywood. In 1957, McDonald claimed she had been kidnapped from her Los Angeles home by two men. According to her, they held her captive for hours before mysteriously releasing her in the desert. The case became a media sensation, but investigators grew suspicious of her story. Some believed she staged the kidnapping for publicity, though no definitive proof ever emerged. The incident earned her a reputation as an attention seeker, damaging her already struggling career. Beyond the alleged kidnapping, McDonald had a tumultuous personal life. She was married multiple times, often to wealthy and powerful men, and had run-ins with the law for drug possession and fraud. Sadly, her story ended in tragedy. She died of an overdose in 1965 at just 42 years old. Whether victim or mastermind, Marie McDonald's life remains one of Hollywood's strangest cautionary tales. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. Also consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to get notified of our newest videos. Thanks for watching.